This video is sponsored by Card Trader, a global marketplace where you can buy and sell TCG cards like the Pokemon trading card game. Please use my code POPNIGHT24 at checkout where you can get 5% off your first purchase. A link will be in the description below. Thank you again to Card Trader for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be showcasing Wailord from the Journey Together expansion set. For a single pricer, this Pokemon is quite chunky with a whopping 240 HP, and we're definitely going to take advantage of that. To make it even harder to take down, I'll be using the Luxurious Escape tool card. This will add 100 more HP to our Wailord, bringing it up to 340 HP, sort of like making our Wailord into an EX Pokemon. However, one downside to this is that your opponent will take one extra prize for knocking out our Pokemon. With the added HP, most of the time Wailord should be able to survive a hit or two from your opponent's Pokemon. With that in mind though, I also have Monkey Dory with the Adrena Brain ability. As long as this Pokemon has a dark energy attached to it, you can move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon onto one of your opponent's Pokemon. So this will not only help heal our Wailord, but also to put extra damage on your opponent's Pokemon. Wailord is also very strong when it comes to its attack. For 4 colorless energy, Hydro Pump deals 10 plus base damage, but this attack also deals 50 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you fully power up its attack with 4 water energies, your damage will be 210 damage. But again, you can increase it beyond its limits the more water energies you attach to it. With the help of Reversal Energy, which can act as 3 energies of every type to your evolution non-rule box Pokemon when your opponent has taken more prizes than you can easily increase your attack to deal enough damage to even knock out any Pokemon in the game. Even then, 4 energies to power up its attack is quite cumbersome to set up. This is why we also have Baxcalibur as our main energy accelerator. Thanks to its Super Cold ability, as often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic water energy from your hand to your Pokemon. As for my spec card, I will be using Neutralization Zone Stadium. This will prevent any attack damage from being done to our non-rule box Pokemon by our opponent's EX or V Pokemon. With this, our Wailord can become invincible. Overall, this build is very linear, nothing more than to just tank a hit and take knockouts thanks to Wailord's high HP and its potentially high damage output if you can attach enough water energies onto this Pokemon. Sometimes though, setting up a Wailord to attack every single turn can become a hindrance late game, especially if it requires multiple energies to attack. Despite the potential of this Wailord though, I still don't like the overall consistency for this build just yet. But if you play it right though, the Neutralization Zone really helps quite a bit in some matchups. But what do you guys think of this Wailord? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below, and now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Wailord. Before we get into the video, I have a small request. If you're liking the content I create, please leave a like to this video and please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. This is a small click for you, but for me, it means a lot. Thank you so much for all of your support. Alright, on to our final match. We will be starting this one with Frigibax in the active. I will be going first, and my opponent will start with Finizen in their active. So, we got Wilmer from our first draw. We can attach the Reversal Energy and we can end our turn. So it looks like we're going against Palafin EX, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to set up 2 Varooms on their bench along with another Finizen. And with the Arven, they're going to get Earthen Vessel along with TM Evolution. We got Water and Metal Energy. They'll attach an energy to Finizen along with TM Evolution, and they're going to evolve 2 of their bench Pokemon. And what's this? A surprising turn of event. My opponent evolves 2 of their Varooms into Revavroom EX, Lightning type. Well, now it's our turn. We can evolve into Wailord, and the unfortunate thing is that Wailord is weak against Lightning type attacks. I'm just gonna evolve into Baxcalibur. Hopefully I can draw into 2 water energies here. I got 1. I can use this to energize Wailord. And let's go ahead and use Messagoose. I mean, we can set up another one. Alright, we got heads. Let me get Frigibax just in case. And I'm just gonna end my turn. So we couldn't retreat our Baxcalibur. They have a switch. They switched their Revavroom EX in their active. Accelerator Flash 140. Alright, so if they move their Revavroom from the bench to the active, they can attack for 140 for a single metal energy. And they're gonna deal 140 to our Baxcalibur. Thankfully, it's weak against metal and not lightning. So we actually survived the attack. That's pretty insane. Alright. We got Tails from our Mesagoza. Let's go ahead and use Arven. Get a switch and a luxurious cape. And then... I mean, we can't attack right now. I can get Cleffa and just switch it into the active, I guess. We can sacrifice it. That will activate our reversal energy if my opponent knocks it out. And then go from there. So, setup for Wailord is a little bit slow going, that's for sure. I mean, if you really want to force your the price trade, maybe you can use the Dusknoir lineup. That way you can activate reversal energy. But my opponent manages to evolve into Palafin EX. They attacked for 250 damage, knocking out our Cleffa. And you know what? We have reversal energy in our hand. Maybe we can add more so we can try and knock out this Palafin EX. Got heads from Mesagoza, which is awesome. Now we have two lineup of Baxcalibur. But we can't evolve just yet because we just evolved into Arctobax. And with two reversal energies, you know what, guys? We're dealing a one-hit knockout against this Palafin EX, and slowly but surely I'm gonna start to build up my Wilmer, and we're just gonna knock out this Palafin EX, dealing 360 damage. And that's gonna get us our first two prizes. Alright, not bad. Wailord is not only chunky, it also has the potential to one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game. So despite Palafin EX having 340 HP, we equal its HP, its bulk, but we're dealing more damage than it. Well, now it's our turn. My opponent didn't even get to attack. We have two Baxcalibur lines ready to go, and I'll just go ahead and attach another energy. Again, reversal energy only activates if your opponent has taken more prizes than you have. So we'll need more energies to power up Wailord's attack, but since it's acting as colorless energy, we're only dealing 110 damage. So I'll just build up my other Wailmer. I can use Professor's Research to draw into more cards, and then I can use Palpad to recover Chorus Tenacity and an Arven. Let's go ahead and attach this. I mean, I can just attack, knock out their Finizen, and then just go from there. So Hydro Pump deals 110 damage. We only have two water energies attached to our Wailord, and we get another prize. So Shattering Speed deals 250 damage, but requires 3 metal energies. Oh, they're gonna use Turo to remove it so that this Rev of Room EX can switch from the bench to the active, allowing them to attack for a single energy. But despite our weakness, we still survive the attack. And our opponent only deals 280 damage. Alright, nice. With this Earthen Vessel, I'll just get Dark Energy. Attach it to our Monkey Dory. And yeah, unfortunately we're not hitting for a lot of damage right now. Let's go ahead and get Chorus Tenacity to get Neutralization Zone along with another water energy. We can increase our attack at least, but let's go ahead and transfer these damage. Maybe we can take an easy knockout for next turn, but we're not one-hit knocking out this active just yet. So I'll just go for a 2-hit knockout, I guess. We'll deal 110 damage. So next turn, we can just knock it out with our next Wailord. Unless otherwise they can't take out our neutralization zone. They can't deal any damage to our active Wailord. So not only is Wailord super chunky with this high HP, we can even turn it invincible thanks to the neutralization zone. A-Spec card Stadium. So they... Boss... Oh, they're gonna concede! Alright, I'll take it! Good game. Moving on to our second match. I'm gonna start this one with Wailmer in the active. We also have Frigibax and Munkidori on our bench. My opponent will mulligan, and we're going against Ceruledge EX. So we have type advantage. Ceruledge is weak against water, so hopefully we can win this match easy. So with just minimal energies, we can actually one-hit knock out their Ceruledge EX. But conversely, they can actually do the same. So for a single fire energy, Ceruledge EX can deal high amounts of damage depending on how many energies our opponent have in their discard pile. So Wailord, despite having a lot of HP, can just get knocked out with Ceruledge EX. But all we can do during our turn is just attach a reversal energy. And unfortunately, we don't have any draw support, which is really bad. I have Cleffa in the deck, but I can't even retreat my Wailmer, which is really bad. My opponent evolves into Ceruledge EX. Now they can start attacking, so I'm depending on my opponent to knock out my Wailmer. And then that's when I'll put Festinipity EX in play so we can use its Flip the Script ability to draw into more cards. But they're just going to retreat into Munkidori. We got an Ultra Ball for our draw, but that's not really going to help us. I don't want to discard my Luxurious Cape. So, man, this is a really bad opening hand for us. My opponent got Professor's Research. They got another energy for Ceruledge EX. Earthen Vessel gets them more energies. Of course, the more energies they have in the discard pile, the better, so they don't really care about discarding those energies. And they also have Revavroom. So Revavroom has the Rumbling Engine ability. If you discard an energy card from your hand, you can draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. So they have Festinipity EX. Yeah, we're bricking really hard right now, and that's the problem with this build, guys. It's just, if it bricks, it just bricks really hard, and it could cost you the game. Yeah, set up another Charcadet. I mean, we got a trainer card, but it's a boss orders. This is really bad. Okay, I'm just gonna end my turn. I'm just gonna wait it out. My opponent can knock out my Wailmer with Ceruledge EX. Then we can just counter with our Wailmer on our bench moving forward, hopefully. Anyways, that's the plan. But we still have to evolve into Baxcalibur. Because again, despite having reversal energy, we can't attack with a single energy attachment. We rely on that extra energy acceleration to get the 4 energies required for Wailord to attack. Well, they're gonna attach an energy to Munkidori. This is really bad. Where are my trainer cards? They're gonna boss our other Wailmer. We actually needed that, to be honest. Oh, but I think they're alright. They're just gonna attack with Munkidori. 60 damage. Confusion. Okay. I'm gonna use Mesagoza. Alright, we got heads. Let's see what we can get here. I can get Arctibax right now, because without Arven, we can't evolve into Baxcalibur. So I might as well just take it slow. And then, even if they attack with Munkidori again, we should be able to survive another turn. Then again, they could just retreat it into Ceruledge EX and start attacking for a lot of damage. My opponent also got heads with Mesagoza. They got Revavroom, but they don't have any more basic to evolve into that, so they're just gonna attack with Mindbend. Alright. Another 60 damage. So finally, we can evolve into Baxcalibur. Reversal energy still acts as colorless because my opponent has not taken any prizes yet either. I can set up another Wailmer, because most probably I'm just going to lose the one in the active. But what I'm scared of is if my opponent has another boss orders, they can target our Baxcalibur and we're going to lose it. So what I'm going to do is just try and set up another Wailmer. Use Mesagoza. We got Tails. I'm just gonna end my turn. Man, this is really bad. Anyways, if my opponent knocks out Wailord, that sets us up a little bit. We can use Serendipity to draw into more cards. And then hopefully we can draw into a Reversal Energy and use boss orders to maybe take an easy 2 prizes. Alright, we got Wailord from our top deck. We can evolve our active. We can use Luxurious Escape to add HP, Serendipity for Flip the Script. And we got an Iono. Alright, I'll take it. Yeah, let's hope for a Reversal Energy here. Come on, Reversal Energy. Oh no, we missed it. We got another Wailord. Come on. Come on, man. I have 4 in this deck. 1 is discarded. So we have 3. 1 in 10 chance of being able to draw into a Reversal Energy, but we didn't get it. I mean, we got Chorus Tenacity to help us find a Reversal Energy. But we might lose our Wailord if my opponent attacks with Ceruledge. You can recover boss orders with Palpad. Or actually, my opponent can use Monkey Dory to just confuse our Wailord, which is going to be very annoying. Because now we'll have to rely on a coin flip to successfully attack. So they did just confuse our active, hitting for 60. Let me get Water and Dark. I can attach this, attach 1. We can transfer damage counters. And then use Arven to get Luxurious Escape along with the switch. Let me transfer damage to... I think I'll transfer it to Ceruledge. Or actually, I don't know. Because we are hitting for weakness anyways. I don't think that's necessary. I just needed to remove my confusion. But unfortunately, we don't have enough energies to power up our Wailord. So we're stuck once again. We're just not getting the cards that we need right now. My opponent has boss orders. They're going to target Serendipity. You're going to get 2 prizes for this. I don't know, guys. If you guys are observing anything that I'm doing or you think I should have done better, let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate those feedback. It helps me learn how to play the game even more, actually. So it does really help. And I'm sure the other new players also appreciates those comments, so do help us out with that. But I think it all comes down to RNG sometimes. If you do draw into really bad cards, it just doesn't work out. So my opponent attacks with their Ceruledge EX, dealing exactly 210 damage, knocking out our Serendipity EX. Very unfortunate. Now they've taken 3 prizes at this point. Let's go ahead and use Monkey Dory for now. And I'll just transfer damage to their Charcadets, but they're just gonna throw it back at us, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna go with Colress with Reversal Energy. I'm just gonna play it safe here, replace the stadium with Neutralization Zone, and then we're just gonna hit for 520 damage to knock out their Ceruledge EX. Again, we are hitting for weakness, and hopefully we can survive a few turns with the Neutralization Zone. They're gonna fully power up Serendipity EX, but as long as the Neutralization Zone is active, they can't hurt any of our non-rule box Pokemon. So with Monkey Dory, they transfer 3 damage counters. Flip the Script. Oh, they still had Flip the Script. That allowed them to draw into 3 more cards. Oh, they have Jamming Tower. That's even worse. That's like our worst enemy. Because now our Luxurious Escape is no longer in effect. And they were even able to take out our Baxcalibur. This is not good. They're trying to trap our Wailord. Thankfully, we have Turo to remove it from play. We can reset it up, and then I can try and set up another Baxcalibur lineup. We do have Rare Candy. And then I guess I'll just take a knockout against their Pheasantipity EX to get 2 prizes. So the downside to this is at 240 HP, they can easily knock out our Wailord, but thankfully that Jamming Tower is preventing them from taking an extra prize even with a Luxurious Cape attached to our Wailord. Because again, Jamming Tower makes all tool cards ineffective, or it disables all of its effects. That's why Wailord does not have an extra 100 HP, but they're gonna use Iono. I actually needed that. I got the Arven and the Wailord, but they're gonna take a knockout here, and we're left with an energy. Man, we need something to help us draw into more cards here. Oh, the Iono, I think, did it for us. Oh no. Well, I can get Cleffa, I can retreat Monkey Dory, but you know what? I mean, that could have helped us. That our last hand could have helped us to evolve into Baxcalibur, evolve into Wailord. We would have had the chance to draw into more energies, but you know what? That last Iono was able to actually disrupt our hand, leading to our downfall. But our start was also really bad, so my opponent actually did a pretty good job against this matchup. So good job to our opponent, I guess. Good game, still a good game. On to our first match. My opponent will be going first. We're starting with Frigibax in the active, and we're going against Gholdengo EX. So gauging this matchup, despite Wailord having a lot of HP, Gholdengo EX also has the potential to one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game, depending on how many energy cards they can discard from their hand when they attack. So tanking a hit with Wailord against this matchup is certainly going to be very difficult. And it looks like they're also using Dragapult EX. They have Dreepy on their bench. They're also going to set up Monkey Dory and Pheasantipity EX. And they're going to end their turn. Alright, well, we have to establish another basic Pokemon on our bench here. That way we can't lose next turn. But having only Professor's Research as our draw support, we might have to sacrifice everything else in our hand here. So I'll just draw into 7 cards. We got another Wilmer, and I'm just gonna end my turn. I don't want to attach Luxurious Cape because my opponent could just take advantage of that. They can knock us out, get an easy 2 prizes, but the bad thing is we had to discard both Baxcalibur, so now I need to find that Night Stretcher to recover it so that we can have that energy acceleration ability. The thing about Wailord though, because it requires 4 energies to attack, despite us having reversal energies in this build, we can't attack with a single energy attachment. So we're actually dependent on that extra energy acceleration from Baxcalibur. So we'll have to plan this out even further. Hopefully we can survive the next few turns. But with Dracloak in play, my opponent's consistency is a lot better than ours. And actually, even though I have Cleffa in this build, I feel like I need more draw support here. Maybe the Dunsparce would actually be helpful, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. For now, my opponent has TM Evolution on their Gimmighoul. They use Crispin to get 2 energies, attaching 1 to their active. And now they can evolve 2 of their bench Pokemon. Either 1 to Gholdengo EX. Okay, and into Dragapult EX. I was gonna say that they might just leave the Dracloak so that they can draw into more cards, but they just wanted to evolve into Dragapult EX. Well, now it's our turn. We can evolve into Wailord. I can attach the Luxurious Cape to add more HP. And I do have Arctibax. Maybe I can just slowly evolve while we try and find our Night Stretcher. I mean, I have Arven, but even if I use Night Stretcher and evolve into Baxcalibur, they could just knock it out next turn. Especially the Baxcalibur lineup is weak against Metal. So I think I'm just gonna get Switch, evolve into Arctibax, end my turn. And hopefully Wailord with 340 HP can survive a hit from my opponent's attack. Thankfully, Wailord is not weak against metal. There's the other Gholdengo EX. While it's in the active, coin bonus can allow them to draw into 2 cards, which is pretty bad. So they have Energy Search Pro, allowing them to search for a bunch of different types of energies. Now they have the firepower to attack, especially with that metal energy in their active Gholdengo EX, and they're probably just gonna knock out our Wailord. But no, they hit for 250 damage, discarding 5 energies from their hand. Man, Wailord's HP actually helped it to survive a hit. So I'm just gonna set up Monkey Dory. Unfortunately, again, we need to recover our Baxcalibur for us to be able to use its ability. The downside is I already have Luxurious Cape attached to our Wailord, and still no sign of our Baxcalibur being able to set up. So thankfully we got heads from Mesagoza. I can probably draw into more cards once they knock out our active, but again, my opponent will just take 2 prizes for knocking out our Wailord with the Luxurious Cape. But next turn, once Reversal Energy is activated, because my opponent will have taken more prizes than we have, once they knock out one of our Pokemon, we can now power up our secondary attacker, which is the other Wailord on our bench, and hope for the best. So with 4 energies, we can attack for 210 damage. Not quite enough to knock out Gholdengo, so we'll need an extra energy. But all I can do is attach 1 energy next turn, so I'm still lacking in resources here. But here it is. My opponent will again attack with Make It Rain, dealing 100 damage, discarding 2 energies from their hand, knocking out our Wailord, and they get 2 prizes for that. Well, there's really not much option. So let's go ahead and attach the Reversal Energy. We're dealing 210 damage. Can we draw into a Night Stretcher? Okay, we got an Arven. Alright, I'll take it. So we can get our Night Stretcher. We can recover our Baxcalibur. And then we can evolve. Thankfully, now we can use its Super Cold ability. Attach this extra energy. I'll have Cleffa prepared for next turn in case we need to draw into more cards. We got Tails from Mesagoza, and yeah, we're dealing exactly 260 damage with Hydro Pump, taking our first knockout for the game. We got Nest Ball and Neutralization Zone. All right, well, we're back in the game, guys. And that's the thing with Wailord, you know, it has a lot of HP, and it does have the potential to also one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game. But the Reversal Energy is dependent on whether or not you are behind on prizes, so you have to account for that. At this point, we are back to just having 3 energies. That's 2 water and 1 colorless energy attached to our Wailord. So thankfully, we have Neutralization Zone available to us. We could most definitely take advantage of that or utilize it so that we can prevent any attack from our opponent's Pokemon EX and hopefully win us the game while we continue to knock out their Pokemon. Just prevent them from taking any extra knockouts from our Pokemon. My only concern is if they have boss orders, they can target Fazandipity EX. They can take 2 prizes for that. But moving forward, they'll have to take 1 prize at a time when going against our Wailord. If they power up their Dragapult EX though, that's going to be a problem. So if they knock out Wailord, they can use Dragapult EX, boss one of our weaker Pokemon, which we have a lot of, and then they could just spread the 3 damage counters to Cleffa, and then they can take the last 2 prizes. And just what I didn't want to happen. My opponent had boss orders. They target Pheasantipede in the active, and they will knock it out to get 2 prizes. Alright, so my opponent still has the upper hand against us. Let me go ahead and attach this to my active again. That could help us out here, deal more damage. Masagoza got us another Pokemon, but I can only do 1 hand attachment, energy attachment per turn, and we're dealing 310 damage. Let me go ahead and use Turo and get rid of Cleffa actually. And then we're dealing 310 damage with Hydro Pump, knocking out another Gholdengo from our opponent. Thankfully, we got an Iono with 13 cards in their hand. That's actually pretty dangerous, giving them a lot of access to a lot of potentially useful cards. Recover energies, boss's orders, things like that, which will make it difficult for us to get ahead in the setup here. But as long as our neutralization zone remains or stays, we should be safe for now. And then we could just disrupt them with Iono next turn. And at 3 water energies and a colorless energy, we should be able to continue to attack with our active Wailord. So unless my opponent focuses on their Dragapult EX to spread damage counters, we should be safe for the meantime. So I'm just hoping my opponent doesn't have a replacement stadium to knock out our neutralization zone. Again, we should be safe. They're gonna use Switch to put their Gimmighoul in their active. Okay. Thankfully, we're only dealing 1-hit knockouts here, so their Munkidori is not as useful. But it goes the same actually for us, because we have 2 Munkidoris, but we're also taking 1-hit knockouts. Let me go ahead and use Night Stretcher. I'll recover Wailord so we can evolve our backup attacker. I'm gonna use Iono. Reduce the cards from my opponent's hand. And then I'm gonna start to energize my second attacker. I'm just gonna end my turn. I'm gonna wait it out, because if my opponent... if we attack our opponent's Gimmighoul, that tool card is gonna deal 4 damage counters to our Wailord. And if we do that, and they have the means to remove our stadium, they can easily knock it out with their Dragapult EX and start spreading damage to our Pokemon as well. So this is still anybody's game. I just need a boss orders probably, and maybe another water energy. We can take out that Pheasantipede EX for the last 2 prizes. For now, my opponent will use Arven. They have Night Stretcher. They'll recover a metal energy. And they're just gonna end their turn. Alright. Hey, we got boss orders. Okay. But we're only dealing 160 damage. I can't use Earthen Vessel, because I don't want to discard boss orders, so I'll just have to wait it out here. I just hope my opponent doesn't get any draw support. If they do, they could possibly, again, remove that neutralization zone and start knocking out our Pokemon. What will my opponent do is the question. Okay, they're gonna use Arven. Another Night Stretcher. Man, they have a lot of Night Stretcher. Alright. They're gonna put Fire Energy. Why don't they just put it on their Dragapult? Alright, we got Water Energy. Yeah, I think we should be good. We just need this one Water Energy for that extra 50 damage. And here it is, guys. Knocking out their Pheasantipede EX to get us our last 2 prizes to win the game. Alright, we made it. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, Please stay safe and have a great day.